Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be cooking up an incredible piece of pork shoulder. This pork shoulder comes from a local farmer called Stonebridge Farm, and it's where they specialise in saddleback pigs. So let's get the piece of pork. We're going to make this really simple because I think it's important that people see how easy it is to do this type of cooking. So what we're going to do first is get it open. So as you can see here, this is rare breed pork butt. What I love about local farming is you know exactly where the meat has come from, all about traceability, knowing exactly what it's been fed. And again, we're going to keep this really simple. We're getting ourselves a dish. We are going to pat this dry, just place it into the dish, and then we'll pat it dry. And then we're just going to go with a really simple rub from Firefly. We're going to use a French's mustard just for a binder. Give it a shake. Just like that, just enough so that the rub will stick to it. This is really simple because all we're going to do is get it rubbed up and then leave it on a smoker. For this cook, we're going to be using Firefly Cherry Cola, sweet and fruity. And we'll just, from a height, sprinkle that all over the piece of pork. Making sure we get all aspects of it. I'm going to go with quite a heavy layer of this. And then make sure getting the sides. I already smell the cola. It smells really good. Again, we're not having to trim too much of the fat off this. This is a really nice cut. Not too lean, just the right amount. Saddleback pigs are one of the best breeds, especially in Northern Ireland, for this type of cook. Today I'm going to be using the Traeger Ironwood, which is pretty much a set it and forget it barbecue. So there we have it, lovely colour on that. Should get a nice bark formed using the Traeger. So this is my Traeger Ironwood, named Big T. I pity the fool. As you can see, it's nicely stocked with some apple pellets, and we're just going to get it fired up. We're going to keep this to around 250, get some smoke onto the pork butt, and just leave it. That's how easy and simple this cook is. So it's pretty simple to set up. You've got your computer screen here, and we're just going to obviously pick a temperature using the scroll, and it tells you there what each temperature is good for. So 165 is for grilling, braising and baking. We're obviously going to be going for a smoke. So again, this is in Celsius, so I need to remember that whenever I'm dialing it in, as opposed to Fahrenheit. So we're going to go about 120 Celsius, which shows you smoke and barbecue. And then all we need to do is click it, and then it says press and hold here to ignite. So, and that's it. That's it starting to ignite. Once I get up the temperature, then we will just put the pork shoulder on the Traeger. If you're new to Traegers and pellet grills, the easiest way to describe it is small wood pellets provide that heat and flavour to whatever you're cooking. There is no direct fire management. Everything is offset because there's no actual fire. It's pretty much a smoky oven, but it provides an incredible cook for the likes of pork butts. You can pretty much cook anything on these. There's an incredible recipe book that provides you with loads of detailed recipes that are aimed specifically for smokers, from apple pies to ribs to roast dinners. So yeah, I would call Traeger a real convenience grill for busy families, busy lives, something that you can just throw something on and not have to worry. As you can see, the smoke's starting to come up now, and I also use the probe from the Traeger just to get an idea of how the cook's going. Okay, so it's set at 105 Celsius with temperature we're trying to reach of 120, but I'm happy enough. I'm just going to put this on now. So I've removed the top rack just because I don't need it, and that's it. We'll just put that right there, close that up. I just need to get my thermometers. So I've just connected the wired thermometer here, and it's asking me to set the goal temp. So I'm going to bring the pork shoulder to around 65 Celsius first, and then we're going to take it off the wrap, and then I'll bring it up to 95. So I'm just dialing in here 65 and confirm, and that's it. And now I'll just place this right into the middle of the pork shoulder, and that's it. We'll just leave it now. Now what will happen is the computer will let me know via the app when it gets to 65. The pork shoulder is now up to temperature, sitting in around 65. Haven't had a look at it until now. It's looking good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that off, and we're going to, rather than use the Traeger, which is to save the pellets, take it inside to the oven once it's wrapped, place it into the oven. I'm going with My Waddy Tropical. That's the indicator of the Traeger, let me know that it has reached its temperature. But the reason why I'm using the oven inside as opposed to the Traeger, there's no point in wasting pellets just for heat. The Traeger's good for creating smoke, but ultimately just for heat, I don't see why we should be wasting pellets. So here we are with our pork shoulder. What we're going to do now is just create a bit of a bath. You can already smell that cherry cola. And then what we'll do is we will put a small amount of this My Waddy. This is going to be nice and sweet inside. And then just start to wrap it up nice and gently, because you do not want those juices leaking. Once you've done one layer, then I tend to go to the opposite side. And again, nice and easy with the wrap. We'll put that into an oven tray now, and then into the oven. As if by magic, oven tray fits nicely, and that's us. Into the oven, and we'll bring that up to 95, 96 degrees Celsius. Sun's come out, fantastic. Look, just on that cook, it actually went a lot quicker than normal. It's just because of the size of the cut. It was a nice small shoulder. So all in all, it was around 3 hours of smoking to bring it to 65. And now it's going into the oven inside to bring it up to 96, 95, 96. And if you're enjoying the content, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment section as well if there's anything you'd like to see more of. Okay, so this has been in the oven now for about an hour. So I'm just going to use a Dermapen to see exactly if we've hit the temperature. And we have, so we are sitting at 90, 97 actually, so that's good. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to put it into the cooler to rest, and we'll just leave it there. We're just going to put that into the cooler like so, and we'll leave that for a couple of hours just to rest until we're ready to eat it. Okay, we are back, and we are here now to check out the pork shoulder. We've got these lovely orange gloves to put on, just in case it's extremely warm. We've had the pork shoulder in the cooler now for around 2 hours. 2 hours, yeah. Didn't charge it or anything. If you do go to charge your cooler, how you do that is by boiling water and throwing that boiling water into the cooler to sort of heat it up prior to putting your meat in. But I didn't do that, so let's have a look and see what we got. So it still seems pretty hot. Just put that down there. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up. So look at that. Wow. Now, as I joked, on Instagram. We have to do the finger test.
Amazing.
Yeah, it goes in all right, nice and easy. Now for the tear. Oh, it's falling apart already. Yeah, look at that. Lovely pulled pork. Oh, I can smell that saddleback pork. Wow. So we're gonna get this sauced up. We'll use all this liquid and we'll just get it ripped apart. Look at that. Wow. Just look at that. Fantastic. And we're gonna hit it with some cherry competition barbecue sauce. And we'll just get that all mixed up. All that sauce, all those juices. This is gonna be epic. So there you have it. Really simple pulled pork. Simply seasoned, stuck on a smoker, left to cook, taken off, wrapped into the oven, and this is what you've got. Incredible. Thanks for stopping by, and if you've enjoyed this content, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.